at the moment, but the sports industry here in the Middle East is booming, growing 9% a year. That's according to a new report from PwC, and the man behind it is with us in the studio, Global Tourism and Hospitality Centre of Excellence leader with PwC Middle East is Nick Mayer. Nick, good morning. How are you?
Well, good morning. I'm doing well. Hi, Richard. Nice to be with you.
So 9% growth a year. I read this report. It surprised me that it wasn't even stronger than that. But what's the story?
Well, look, it's become one of these industries that all the countries in the region here are using to basically further diversify.
Nick,
right?
can I ask you to move a little bit closer to the microphone?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So it's one of these industries that really has started accelerating a lot as part of all of our countries' efforts to diversify the economies, right? So we're seeing more and more mega events coming in. We're seeing announcements such as the one of the 49ers today of large global franchises taking more interest into the local fan bases here. And we're seeing a lot of local businesses that are actually moving into the business of sports. So 9% is very good, but I think you're right. We're going to see this accelerating much more in the future years.
Your report says at least a quarter of the investment is coming from sovereign wealth funds, a lot of that in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, it's a crazy number. A good quarter of the worldwide sports investments are coming from these sovereign wealth funds and other investors from our region. So we have, in a matter of a few years, become global players in basically moving sports forward locally here, but also internationally. And what it is, it's a business. You said it in the intro, right? So, of course, we all want to see great clubs playing here. We want to have our home teams have a presence here. But what it is first and foremost a business that creates jobs here in the region, that creates contributions to through visitors, through tourists, and ultimately that creates also a name for ourselves in the global ecosystem because it puts our names of Dubai, of Abu Dhabi, of Riyadh, of Doha on the map. And that's something that is very desirable.
I mean, Dubai wrote the book for using sport as destination marketing in this region, starting 30 years ago or more with the Dubai Desert Classic golf tournament and then others since then. But of course, others have jumped on that bandwagon since. And not just Saudi Arabia, of course, the Qatar World Cup. What's been the legacy of that, Nick?
Well, look, first of all, it was a really, really well-executed World Cup, right? So the legacy, first and foremost, was that the world and the sports world realized, saying, wait, Doha can actually really organize events of this magnitude, and the countries in the region here can do it. So that was the first legacy. The second legacy is, of course, the impulse that it has given into the Qatari tourism environment, right? So of what they had learned during the World Cup, they've organized all kinds of sports events. They've organized also concerts and other events. And we're now seeing a steady stream of events that are coming into the region and into Doha. So, for example, the next one that we're looking for, I think it's 2027, is the World Basketball Championship, which are going to be held there as well. So it's basically know-how and skills that have basically been arrived in the region thanks to that.
Okay, so these mega events do really well. Let's take the Formula One in Abu Dhabi. Always sells out. Yesterday we heard that Katy Perry's going to be performing there later on this year. But a lot of medium-sized events struggle to get the punters through the door. I mean, for example, the Dubai Desert Classic Golf here, which happened, about a month ago now. Tom, you were there. You said it was a brilliant event. Like, best Desert Classic for years and years. But they didn't charge, did they? It was free to get in.
It was, yeah. You have to register in advance, and then the idea is that they generate more revenue whilst you are on course with the various activities.
Is that model sustainable? Free to get in and you make the money on the F&B and the merch, Nick?
Well, look, yes. Well, it is, but it has to be a good mix, right? But ticket sales are not always the first source of revenue for your events. If you have people that are coming to the Desert Classic and that are staying here for 4 days, that are coming from overseas, or that decide to stay in Dubai for an extended weekend, and they're taking hotel rooms and they're going shopping at Dubai Mall and they take a desert tour or whatever you have not, or they bring their family that spends on other things, then it very much makes sense, right? So individual events, often if you look at them just in isolation, might not even break even, but the contribution they do to the economy is massively positive, often in the dozens of millions. So you have to see it as part of a larger ecosystem and of a series of events that basically create a brand, in this case the golfing brand of Dubai, which is very strong, and for that you need these events.
The importance of music seems to be growing. I'll cite another event, which of course Tom was at because he's our sports guy, the Dubai Rugby Sevens.
Ooh.
Or not the Rugby Sevens. What's it called? I'll get in trouble if I don't give it the right name.
It's the Emirates Dubai Sevens now.
Thank you very much indeed.
More than rugby.
More than rugby.
Definitely.
But joking apart, Stormzy was the headline act there. Stormzy doesn't come cheap. We just talked about Katy Perry at the Formula One. Music seems to be a very important part of these sporting events at the moment. How does that fit into the economic mix?
Look, it's really about experiences, right? And if you are able to create these multifaceted events that have a food and beverage component, a music component, a sports component, something for the kids, etc., you broaden the base of people that may consider coming to it. I mean, you spoke about Formula One in Abu Dhabi before. I know so many people, including my son last year, that went to see Eminem, but they didn't watch a single race, right? But they contributed to the overall success of the event. So the broader coherent offerings you can create, the bigger the base of people that are going to come visit you for this one.
Lots of big events coming up in Saudi Arabia, the FIFA Football World Cup 2034. Before that, we've got the Asian Winter Games, which has still got a lot of people scratching their heads. Skiing in Saudi Arabia. Is that one viable, Nick?
Well, look, I think they've done the analysis of saying, do they have basically the preconditions necessary to actually, have artificial snow stick there? And the answer was yes, right? And I've been in this region. It's actually getting very, very bloody cold, and I've seen a slither of snow on the floor there. So it is viable, absolutely. Now, there is, of course, always with any of these events, a huge pressure to be ready on time and to deliver at a high quality. But the Saudis are known for being capable of doing that. So I look forward to going to watch it.
Finally, your report has a big focus on generative AI. 30 seconds on AI in sport.
Look, it first and foremost came in through media and through content producers, right, that basically used AI to create more customized, bespoke experiences for the fans. What I find most interesting, however, is now we're seeing it very much in performance enhancements. So clubs and federations using AI to create more bespoke development programs for their athletes, whether they're professional athletes or amateurs. And that's a super interesting topic that seems to be really driven out of our region. And I think we're going to see a lot more about that. And I think we're going to see great successes also at international competitions by seeing the results of more optimized preparations for these events. So very cool topic.
Nick, good talking to you. Appreciate your time this morning. Thanks for coming in. Nick Mayer is the Global Tourism and Hospitality Centre of Excellence leader with PwC Middle East. That new report is out now. Appreciate your time.
Thanks very much for having me.
It's the business.